a great morning. I wanted to get on here today and really kind of talk about the idea of being present, right? So, do you feel like you're missing the boat as life is passing you by, right? Are you someone who is, having like you're at dinner with friends, or your daughter is talking to you, or you're having a conversation with your sister, your spouse, whatever, and while they're talking, you're finding yourself here. Let me just give me 1 second. I've just got to respond back, right? And so what it is you end up feeling guilty. You end up feeling like, wow, I'm sitting here on my phone, responding to this, responding to that, while life is happening in front of me, right? While someone is really trying to connect and have a conversation, and yet you're like, well, 1 second. I mean, you feel guilty. You feel like you're essentially ignoring that person in front of you. And what that is we you're scattered. There's so much going on up here and so much that you have to get done that the thought of even taking a second and having a conversation with someone unaltered just seems nuts. How about this? Is this you? You're eating dinner, right? And you're just like, oh well, let me scroll, let me, while you're eating, right? The idea of actually having a meal without your phone right next to you just seems crazy. It didn't seem crazy 10 years ago or 15 years ago, but right now, because so much is going on up here, it just seems wild. So here's the thing: what we get to do is get back into our lives, step back into being present in our own lives, in our own families, in our relationships, right? We get to step back to being present in our businesses. Something that I talk about in the Striving to Thriving challenge, that actually I'm starting another one. It's actually Striving to Thriving challenge number 3. We're starting on Monday. And one of the things that we talk about is how you get to be present in your life, how you get to do one thing at a time. You can eat dinner without talking on your phone or without checking your phone, responding to emails, responding to all those things. Because what happens is when we're doing a million things at once, your brain is all over the place. And so nothing is actually getting done. And it's taking way longer. And you're using a lot of energy. So you're finding that by 2, 3 o'clock p.m., it's over. You're tired, you're drained, you just got no more, right? Comment comment in the chat. Let me know if that's something that you're finding in yourself, that you're finding that you're drained come 2, 3 o'clock p.m. You're finding that even though you're drained at 2 or 3 o'clock, you're still working until 6, 7, 8 p.m. It's not okay. You don't have to live that life. You have so much more that you get to do. And so, something that I show my clients is how to align what you're doing to your actual vision. Yes, constantly, right? It's so important to really understand what you're doing and why you're doing it, because when you get to align what you're doing to your vision, what happens is you find more space. Like, whoa, where did all this time come from? Why am I able to do all these things that I couldn't do before? Because when the brain is scattered, then you don't get to do those things. So I talk about 5 things in the Striving to Thriving challenge that I would just want to share with you guys today, so that you can really just kind of take that next step and even think about how to implement it, right? So the first thing is fueling to be an accelerator. When we talk about fueling to be an accelerator, what does that mean? That simply means fueling your body in the right way so that you have clarity, right? And fuel comes in 3 pillars. And I really go into this in next week. I'll be going into this really heavily. But the 3 pillars are: 1, nutrition, right? What are you taking in? And how is that affecting the brain? How is that affecting the body? How is that affecting other spaces? The second one is movement, right? What are you doing? Like, are you sitting at your computer all day long thinking that you're going to get stuff done, and then you're wondering why everything's cracking when you stand up, right? Why is it cracking? Why does the knee hurt? Why does the feet hurt? The back, right? Movement's so important. And the third pillar is self-care. When we talk about self-care, there's different aspects of self-care. Like folks think about self-care and they think, oh, you know what? Massages, pedicures, all those things, right? There's so much more to self-care, right? If you think about self-care, there's also the aspect um, of sunshine, getting outside, right? Enjoying the sun, getting that vitamin D. There's the aspect of rest, right? Am I getting enough rest? Am I really fueling my body to continue to be successful? And then the other things are spending time with family. Obviously, massages, all those things, but spending time with people you love can also fill your cup. Self care, that third pillar, is about filling your cup, right? It and it's so important. So that's one of the things that we talk about, right, in the challenge. That's one of the 5 days. Second is getting back to loving what you do. So when you became an entrepreneur, or when you got um, into corporate America, you started thinking, okay, I'm here, I'm doing this, I'm excited, I get to do something different, right? And especially if you're an entrepreneur, you thought, oh man, I get to make my own schedule, I'm creating my own, this is awesome, this is going to be amazing. And then you found yourself working 10, 12-hour days, way longer than you ever did in corporate America. All the vacations you thought you were going to be able to take tend to either be postponed, or can't really do it right now, right? Or you're on the vacation and it's back to this. You're not present on a vacation. You're in Kabul. You're in I don't know, Egypt, and you're trying to see if you can get Wi-Fi. you know so it comes back to being present, because what are we doing all this for? Doing it so that we can love life, live life. I spoke at a conference last week, and I talked about working less, living more, and feeling better. When we get to align that, work less, live more, feel better, we actually get back to doing what we love. Like, when you do what you love and you love what you do, the time gets cut in half. And so that's the second pillar that we talk about in the Strive and Thriving Challenge. If you haven't joined already, I would suggest going to, actually right now, I think I posted it in the description of this video, but go to the link and sign up for that Strive and Thriving Challenge, because in there we are going through these 5 things, right? Fueling the accelerator. How do you do that? How do you fuel yourself to be an accelerator? An accelerator in your life, an accelerator in your business, accelerator in your relationships, an accelerator in your body. Because if the body is breaking down, what's the point in the business, right? What's the point in making money if your body can't do anything with it, if you're not able to enjoy it, right? And loving what you do, doing what you love. Removing the overworking. That's number 3, right? Because when we are working 12-hour days, are we truly getting 12 hours of work in? And so in the challenge, I show you how to actually get things done in way less time, how to cut that day in half, because there is really no reason to be working 12 hours a day, 5-6 days a week. All right. And then the fourth thing we talk about is overwhelm, ditching the overwhelm. Because as I spoke about at the beginning, when I talked about presence, when you are overwhelmed, what happens is you become so scattered. Decisions can't be made, right? It's tough to even like move to that next step, because there's so much happening up here. You're frozen. And so now when you're frozen, how do you make that decision to move to that next level? How do you make that decision how do you make a clear decision to even decide what you're going to do, when you're going to do it, how you're going to do it? The clarity is gone because you're all over the place and you're frozen. And so now you miss the boat. Another time that boat is passing you by because you're stuck and scared. So another thing we talk about is ditching the overwhelm. That's day 4. How do we ditch the overwhelm so you get to climb over that hump? And then day 5, the 5th thing we talk about, which is huge, is mindset. Mindset and beliefs that are holding you back from reaching the goals, holding you back from living the life that you want, holding you back from having the business that you want, holding you back from having the relationships that you want. Right? When we think about relationships, having a 10 out of 10, having an amazing relationship with your family, with your kids, with your spouse, you get to have that. And having a great business. But something in the mindset has told so many and told you that you can't have both. It's impossible. You can't have both. Why not? Right? So it's time to decide to choose you. It's time to use those 5 things, because these 5 things that I just talked about are holding you back in your business, holding you back in your relationships, holding you back in your health, and holding you back in your life overall. That boat keeps passing by. You get to get on it and enjoy it. So I want you to join the Striving and Thriving Challenge so I can show you how to get on it and enjoy that lifeboat, right? Hop on, you're in, you're ready. It's time to enjoy life again. All right. So I put the link in the description of this video, and I'm going to let you guys go. I actually am going to hop on a call and then go play with my kids. All right. So I'll talk to you guys later. Take care, everyone.